Hello, good evening to my fellow countrymen and women. This is Princess Suri coming to you guys live for us to talk about things that affect Ghana. I have a video that I want to use to make a point. I don't know what this video is, but you can hear the people speaking on this video. Okay. I want people to see this video. They're shooting. These are bullets flying. I don't care whether they say it's rubber bullet or whatever bullet it is. Okay, call your voice. Do you hear that? The sad thing about this video. Okay, I'm trying to make a point. That's why I played this video. To all Ghanaians, let's put our differences aside. This have nothing to do with our party affiliation. Ghana, as we know it, is heading for a disaster. We may not agree with each other when it can disagree with each other when it comes to politics and everything, and with our different tribes, but we all have nowhere but Ghana. And even with our disagreement, but we have to agree that the country is not on the right track. It's on the wrong track, any way you look at it. It doesn't matter whether it's these people happen to be police or whatever, they're claiming that it was rubber bullet that was shot. It has nothing to do with rubber bullet. When the country, lawlessness in the country become everything, and the law doesn't work anymore, it concerns every citizen in that country, in Ghana. You cannot take law into your own hand. See, you guys thought creating this Delta Force or whatever they did in Ghana has to do with political affiliation. It has nothing to do with political affiliation. When the country is about to plunge into civil war, these are some of the things that will start happening before it falls into civil war. Because these people that were shooting randomly, I don't care whether they're claiming that it was rubber bullet. I hear the guy say, Kuomo Kuno. Shoot at them, shoot them. And then if you are shooting bullet, whether it's rubber bullet or whatever it is, and they're claiming that those people were, he said that Koku or whatever, for boys in Ayanko. If everybody boys are allowed in Ghana to get up and take guns out and shoot them people, due to your galamsey things or whatever it is, I don't know much about the video. I'm just talking from what I saw with my own eyes. Ghanaians, we need to be worried. It's something that have to concern every Ghanaian, regardless your party affiliation. Because the country at this point, what we are seeing is something that we never see in Ghana, and it's happening. And all thanks to Akufo-Addo. They came and created all this chaos in Ghana. You name it, Akufo-Addo was the one that was paying people during John Dramani regime, whether it's London, whether it's in Ghana, to demonstrate, mass demonstration. And this was so ashamed, as a Ghanaian standing here, I was so ashamed to find out that party become trouble line, that all the accounts went into London, those that live there, to demonstrate simply because Akufo-Addo told them to do so. And today, these people are not doing the same thing. You guys are sitting in Ghana, watching Akufo-Addo to destroy the whole country and take off. And then when they leave, the poor, the sad thing is that the poor people are the ones that always have to suffer about all this. That's what worries me. If we all were on equal plate and to do things, it won't bother people to talk about it. But today, what's happening in Ghana? Ghanaians, you need to get up and cry for people to help. Where are the military? At this point, we need military intervention in Ghana. The country is getting out of control. That everybody has the right to go buy a gun and start shooting people. When your galamsey people disagree with each other, you come into neighborhood, start shooting because you have a government that is your party that is in power. Because of that, the power has gotten into some people's head, and then they will come out without any fear or without any morality in them, moral values, to take to arms into neighborhood to harass people or to kill people. My countrymen and women, this have nothing to do with political affiliation at this point. We all as Ghanaians need to stand up and say no to this violence. All Ghanaians need to condemn this atrocities that is happening in Ghana at this point. You guys all saw the video. For boys this and that, they are shooting in the middle of a neighborhood. If this is not a sad situation, what is it? Let's talk about what is going on in Ghana today. It's so sad to see this country that we love dearly is going plunging and plunging. And yet, when you come to talk, it's always about party lines and all that. This have nothing to do with party lines. What we need to think about is to stand together, family, to say, take our country back. We have nowhere to go by Ghana. And if you guys gonna sit in silence whereby few Ghanaians destroy the whole country for you guys. First of all, the galamsey affects every Ghanaian, whether you like it or not. The water we drink in, every Ghanaian drink water from the rivers. And if the galamsey mercury and things get into the rivers, it's all Ghanaians that are gonna affect us. Rivers are connected into each other and they flow into the ocean, some of them. So no matter what we are doing, the galamsey in the south affects people everywhere in Ghana. And we all are concerned, and we all should be concerned and talk about these issues. It's so sad to see this guy that was out there saying Kumi Preko and a demonstration, paying people to demonstrate when this former president was doing everything in his power to make sure Ghana be on a well platform. They were out there discrediting former President John Dramani Mahama. And today, see the things he did in Ghana. Can Akufo-Addo government show Ghanaians all these loans they took about 6 years later? Can they prove to any Ghanaian where the money went? And yes, they unleashed chaos in Ghana to Ghanaians. You can't even sleep in your own houses. You know, they are destroying your cocoa farms. They are destroying the forests. They are destroying the waterways. They are destroying our land. And yet, we sit in silence simply because of party affiliation. Or simply because it's not an ordinary that is doing that. Ghanaians, wake up. Wake up. It's these small things that will lead to a bigger kaboom. We are not praying for that. But at this point, to me, if they say we ever need military intervention, there is no a time greater than at this point. The lawlessness in Ghana is overwhelming. 11 people were killed in Upper West region and they took all their organs out. A chief in the south killed 4 people for rituals. And now one of their ministers is out there with his gang shooting weapons, guns in the middle of a neighborhood in the south somewhere. Ghanaians, if this is not a concern, what else will be more concerned? We need to wake up and put party lines aside and stand to unite as Ghanaian first to call upon peace in that country. Where are the Christian council people? Where are the vigilante groups that were out during your Mama time? Where is the Islamic Council? You guys all need to come out to voice your concern at this point. The country is pretty much melting down slowly. And yet, nobody is saying anything. Do you know when a leader is failed? Seriously. Imagine all African presidents showed up at the Queen Elizabeth funeral. And they put every president of the continent of Africa in one bus. It's common sense. God forbid, if this bus were to crash, all the continent leaders are gone, leadership are gone. It's common sense. The reason why you have foreign embassies to call your own country in a different country than your own is because of some of distance. As a leader, when you go to a country that is not your country, your embassy become your country. Your embassy cards become your country cards. You use those. And kudos to the Ethiopian president for standing up. I saw one of my brothers say because they were never colonized, at least he has the mentality of no colonized. It's not so. You don't have to be no colonized to have a mentality of staying strong. Be a leader. It's just that we have failed leaderships in Ghana. It's few that are straight. Majority of them are in it just because of their pockets. And if you are crooked to begin with, to get into power, just simply because you want to make yourself big or you want to steal money for your family to become rich, what on earth will you think? Things that are supposed to lift your country up. You didn't go there to start with the country. You went in there because of yourself. Because if you go there because of your country, these things are common sense for every leader to know. Let's take this as a learning experience to all the African leaders. It doesn't matter what it is. If someone invites you to their funeral and if they cannot give you a private car as a head of state, but they should not give you a bus, in case of an accident, every president that was in that bus was dead or injured, and your country no longer have a leader. It's so sad when we don't see some of these things that make people to be leaders, and yet we call ourselves leaders. It's sad. Anyone that will not agree with me on some of the videos I make, you think it's because of politics. At least this particular subject is something that we all need to agree on. There were no an insult to Africa than that insult. It's something that everybody needs to think about. But today, Ghana, as we speak, what is going on in Ghana? If any time was necessary for military intervention, is this time. The lawlessness of that country is becoming out of control. Because look, see what's happening. And then you call people not to boo the president. Why wouldn't they boo him? What was he doing at the Global Citizen Concert? For a president that failed everybody that put you into office. A president that lied his way into office. Why wouldn't they boo him? He hasn't seen anything yet. There is a say in Wala language. Kinan yel kinya nyabe near, ki vi inya and near. At the end, in a nechima villa. That if you say you're gonna disgrace someone or embarrass the person, at the end, you will get double embarrassment. I hope I translated right. And to me, standing here today, the reason why I talk about some of these things is just that it's so sad to see Africa, where Africa has been, the children of Africa, and the few that happen to leave the continent and live in different countries today. When you see the disrespect, the atrocities, the disgrace, and the treatment of the children of Africa, mother African children throughout this world, it makes you to want the continent to stand on their feet, on her feet, so that the children who are outside the country, when they come back, at least they have somewhere that they can fit in without having to worry about anything. If you see some of these leaders that you think they are enlightened because they were exposed earlier on, and you realize exposed earlier on does not make you smart if God does not bless you with wisdom. You know, there is a say that you can force a horse to a river, but you may not be able to force the horse to drink water. The point I'm trying to make is that anyone that will cheat your way into something that is not yours will pay for it dearly. And that's what is happening to Akufo-Addo today. He's failing, miserable. Every corner you look at it, he's failing so bad to the point that today Ghana It's like a jungle, a mafia country. And everybody become a mafia or a warlord in their neighborhood, have gang boys going around shooting people just because of their galamsey. The galamsey should worry every Ghanaian. It doesn't matter whether they're doing galamsey in your hometown or not. It should worry every Ghanaian. When the mercury leak into our rivers, it flows through all the rivers. So what we don't know, Ghanaians, we sitting in silence. I bet Ghanaians, you will start having children with deformity. You will give birth to children that will be deformed due to this galamsey damage that is going on in Ghana today. You know, you said, and like people go like, oh, this and that, you cannot say this, you cannot say that. It doesn't matter, the land may belong to you, but the damage done, the water, the waste from the galamseys are flowing into your rivers and you end up by drinking it. You grow food and some of this water supply to your food chain. And your woman will get pregnant and give birth to birth defect children. Market is maybe happening. It's just that you guys haven't figured it out. It's like any country that will put money first before your environment is the country that already failed. Akufo-Addo was the one that said he was a human rights lawyer, what was civil rights and all this. First of all, what should we believe? That because he never went to law school. And number two, he's not a lawyer. And why would he say he lied his way to everything? Someone that never suffered in his life. Someone that never did anything productive in his life. Even his house he lives in was his father's house passed down. If you were to be a leader, Ghanaians, I don't blame Akufo-Addo for what Ghana is going through at this point. I blame Ghanaians. Before you select a leader, you have to know what the leader have ever done on his own. The reason why the person can become your president, they have to show the country people, what did you ever do in your life as a person without your father name add or your family name? That's number one thing we should be asking. It's a learning experience, Ghanaians. I said it and I will say it again. We made our bed and we're going to lay on this bed for the next 2 years to come. You haven't seen anything yet. Akufo-Addo didn't come to Ghana to rule Ghana for embarrassment of Ghana. They came to steal. Even no matter how they are doing it, they're still coming out with propaganda that, oh, you know, the former president is still making them not to succeed. If it's not a fair leadership, after 6 years, you still blaming your issues on the previous president that left you so plus with everything. And the credits Akufo-Addo is taking earlier on was from John Dramani Mahama. Now he's back. What can he do? He used everything in Ghana to make sure he came, all the money. He sold everything so he can come in power the second time. Stole the election. Today, you see what God, karma is so wonderful. But my concern at this point is that let's wake up, Ghanaians. Let's stand up, rise up. This lawlessness in Ghana is what my concern is. 11 people were killed in the Upper West region in Wa town alone. This chief killed an innocent nurse. They say now they are discovering it wasn't a one person. They killed 4 people already. The Takoradi girls disappeared in the watch of Akufo-Addo. Someone that believes in those things, why will he fight for it? Someone that have a voodoo chair, that they have $80,000 car driving this chair with a bodyguard. Why wouldn't certain things be happening in Ghana? Because anyone that is not true to himself and to become your leader will doom the whole country. And that's what Ghana is going through. We haven't seen anything yet. The hardship is still going to come, big one. Because what they did, they stole the money. Because anything that you never work hard for, let's be real, you overspend it because he never have to work for the money. It's free money. They're spending it like nobody business. I learned when they went to the Queen funeral, the wife was trying to buy a bag about $20-something thousand. Can you believe this? Because she didn't work for the money. And now she's sitting down thinking like, she has everything. With him, he has the whole world. Who has the whole world? The husband? Please. Can he have his own house? I knew several years ago before he became a president, even his own family were taking him to court. I'm quoting this. For spending all the money the father left them, selling their houses. I'm quoting all this. So please, Ghanaians, if you guys gonna sit and let politics, afflation of policies to take your country to disaster without anybody standing up to say enough is enough. Before politics, there were once a Ghana. Before anything MPP, NDC, we were once Ghanaians. And I always say that, do you know what? Democracy is not for Africa. That one is not a myth, it's the truth. We have too many tribes. And everybody always tries to make their tribe better. When they come in, they try to do everything to please themselves or steal for their people. What I believe is that we need to have military intervention in Ghana. That's the end, because the lawlessness and all the stealing, the corruption, and all those things that happen, we need, if we ever need military intervention in Ghana, is this time. For this guy to go out there and be shooting people with his boys in the neighborhood, not even thinking that, what about the ordinary bystander who is sitting in their house or walking from work to home or from the market? And what about if this bullet cuts some of them? What will we say? Is to tell every Ghanaian, you need to start worried. It's no longer about politics. And if it is politics, it's no longer healthy for Ghanaians. We have enough of this crap. Let's take this country over. We need to tell these politicians that who put them in charge of the country. If you vote someone in place and the person is not doing what you guys want them to do, you have the right to demonstrate and let the person to resign. Ghanaians, take to the street. Because if the Akufo-Addo doesn't know what's wrong and right, it's Ghanaians' duty to teach him what is right. Who cannot stay in the wrong. Two wrongs cannot make it better. Today, you see all this killing. Since when did Ghana become an organ hub for people to come and harvest organs? Let's ask ourselves. Since when? People are disappearing. Workers go to work and cannot come home. Meanwhile, the president and his family and cabinet are enjoying getting free voucher for their gas, gasoline, driving free car, grocery, everything free. Meanwhile, the average Ghanaian is suffering. How to eat become an issue for Ghanaians. And yet you claim it's party affiliation. Am I the one suffering in Ghana at this point? No. It's you guys that are suffering. You know, in this world, it's just something that God tried to teach us today, especially in Ghana. Use your mind, brain to vote. Don't let your emotion vote for you. When you take kickbacks, when you take money and cast your vote because of money, you will pay dearly for the money you take. First of all, you ask politicians, when they give you those money to vote, where did the money come from? Of course, if he steals from somewhere to pay you to vote for him, when he comes, he will steal it from you to pay for the place he got the money for. And that's what's happening. Those that would die for the country, you guys are out there demonstrating against my brother John Dramani Mahama. He was dying for Ghana. In the history of Ghana, except Nkrumah and Rawlings, there were no anybody who put infrastructure in Ghana than John Dramani Mahama. Rawlings' time was a revolution, and things were hard, but he did what he could to make sure the country is on the right track. Today, those people that were destroying Ghana are back today. Those people that make sure Ghanaians didn't see the daylight during Rawlings school are in it today to mess it up again. It's going to take us 50 more years to clean up Ghana. It's not a myth. And to talk about this useless Ajoko, whatever the guy is, the most useless guy, that is it a Kumawu actor or whatever this guy, he has a nerve to call President Nkrumah name to say, apart from Akufo-Addo, there is no who is Nkrumah. In your grave, in your grandfather's grave, that you say that. Nkrumah sacrifice, family, life, everything for Ghana. And at the end, the same people that are destroying the country exile Nkrumah by doing coup while he was in China on a state visit, or I don't know where, but he went out of the country. And you see all this propaganda station, Good Evening Paul or Dumako or whatever the guy is. I don't even know why Ghanaians are paying attention to this guy's show. They need to abolish it. He is part of the establishment of Akufo-Addo. He's standing. Let me show you what happened to Nkrumah and what. When you guys part of the deal that got rid of Nkrumah. And today, Ghana is paying for exactly what Rawlings clean up. They make sure they get rid of Rawlings. I'm quoting this. Rawlings were getting rid of so they can continue to do what they are doing. But inshallah, by the grace of God, God was able to give us Rawlings. He's going to bring the next Rawlings to Ghana. Ghana need an iron fist, not a democracy. Because what is happening in Ghana today, for people to come out with guns, broad daylight, shooting people, and then think it's wrong. It has to concern everybody. So my message to Ajoko, whatever is, you are the most useless African, most disgraced African, most lunatic African that ever spoke. Do you know Nkrumah legacy? Combine Akufo-Addo family, entire family, all in politics, can never measure to Nkrumah. Nkrumah has a name in the whole world. Anywhere you go, everybody know about Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And if you don't know history, let me teach you. Maybe you didn't go to school a little bit, right? Nkrumah was the reason why sub-Saharan African countries gained independence. If you don't know, let me tell you. If you're going to compare, you can't even compare Akufo-Addo family, the whole entire family to Nkrumah. How much more Akufo-Addo? Nkrumah was the reason why the whole sub-Saharan continent was able to get independent. If you don't know, let me tell you that. It's a history lane. And you say, what did Nkrumah do? Nkrumah built a Akosombo Dam. We still use it today. Nkrumah built motorway. Akufo-Addo built pedestrian bridge. And it was washed out with one rain. They did a highway. And that highway was washed out with one rain. You're going to compare Akufo-Addo to Nkrumah? I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Excuse my language. But you are embarrassment to the continent of Africa. For the words that came out of your mouth about Nkrumah, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are embarrassment to the continent of Africa and then Ghana. You know, we said, we don't, and they have another useless one. A minister, whatever they call him. He used to be in parliament. I forgot the name. This useless guy, another useless one too. Then why should they boo Akufo-Addo? Who the hell do you think you are? Who is Akufo-Addo? Akufo-Addo is a president by the republic, by the people voting him in place as a democracy. And if Akufo-Addo is not doing right, the people have the right to tell him in his face what he's failing people. Whatever Hammond or whatever his name is. You are embarrassment to your whole entire family and to the country. Mr. Hammond or whatever your name is. Stop this nonsense. They come, anything they do, you guys come to do damage control. By the grace of God, if you guys don't change your ways, you haven't seen, you see what happened to Kennedy at Japan station, right? They're having disagreement. I swear to God, God is my witness. And if all Ghanaians don't believe in one God, they will believe in our ancestral spirit. I believe in ancestral spirit standing here talking. By the grace of our ancestral spirit, you guys all will be exposed one by one. By the grace of God, you guys all will be exposed. You talk, you sit and say, what and what and what, what and what and what. So is it okay, Ghanaians, because of party affiliation, for people to do galamsey, these ministers, and come into your neighborhood, open fire, no one gun, no two, no three, 4, 5, 6, 7 guns, shooting. And what about if your child was come from school, walking home, and the bullet caught your child? Would that be okay because you belong to MPP? We use common sense. Don't use party. Party is not your food. Party is not your children. Party does not put food on your table. That's something I want Ghanaians to wake up and think. We have nowhere by Ghana. And if we allow this lunatics, all this, what about Wuntimi and all these lunatics that are running around in Ghana without having any sense of direction, if we allow this to continue, my brothers and sisters, one day, I'm just an ordinary person standing here talking. You say, this lady ever told us so. If we don't put a foot down and say enough is enough in Ghana, what they are doing at this point is to tell every Ghanaian that they are telling us that there is nobody in Ghana except them. But they even mentioned that they didn't hide it. They opened their mouth and said that without Achim, there's no Ghana. And that's exactly why they are behaving this thuggish behavior, the gangster behavior in Ghana. Since when did Ghana become mafia country? Ask yourselves. They arrested a lady. I saw what about the Chinese lady? How did the lady end up by having galamseys in Ghana and live in Ghana? And you think you have leadership? Why wouldn't they shovel all of them in a bus at the Queen funeral? Because they have no brain. They all empty vessels. No brain among them. And if you give your country to somebody like Akufo-Addo who can even walk, who can think, what makes you think that he can lead the country to the future? It will take the country down, like how he's going down. That's what he's going to do to the country. And that's exactly what is happening to Ghana at this point. I was furious to see these shootings. And then you watch, anytime you watch TV news or anything, there's no anything positive going for Ghana these days, apart from good news only. Killings. So now Ghana become a harvest country for kidneys, organs, and nobody is worried about that. People are disappearing, no one person, and the government is not doing anything about it. But yet, when they were doing voting, the government know how to take plane, helicopter, ATVs, all those off-road vehicles into Upper West, that is border town. That they are thinking that Boko Haram or ISIS may come over there. How do you guys know that today the killings that are happening throughout Ghana is not the same situation? Send the same things you send to Upper West. When you try to intimidate people to win election, send the same attention again to Upper West. We need that attention over there. And if I'm going to say it again, Ghanaians, wake up. Let's put our differences down. Let's put our party affiliation aside and stand up, unite as one Ghanaians. Ghana first to rescue this country. What Ghana is heading, my brothers and sisters, it's not a beautiful place. You don't want to know. And the thing is, like I always said, Burkina Faso, no, Ivory Coast, never knew they would head to civil war, but they did. So did Sierra Leone, so did Liberia, so many countries in Africa. Ghana is not immune to it either. It will wear when we put Ghana first. But today, as we speak, everybody will beat their chest and say, "Yene Ghanaians." Everybody else is not Ghanaian. Our forefathers and mothers and grandfathers were the ones that fought all the battles that were fought in Ghana. Anyone that want to challenge me, yes or no, comment. The wars that were fought, whether the British, the Akan British War, who fought those wars? It was the Northerners. Where did the smoke, the Sintara people were today? Smoke doesn't come from the south. Where do you guys get the smoke from? It was from the south, the north. Southerners don't have clothes to wear. You use the cloth on your chest. The smoke, the war, the trouble war thing, outfit you wear, the smoke that people wear come from the north. If you don't know, that's another history lane. But the most, today, if they have like a loser, zero sign loser, goes to Ajako, the loser in Ghana, number one loser in Ghana is Ajako. And Afua Schwarzenegger, stay in your lane. I hate when you talk about what you're supposed to be talking about, whatever you've been doing. When people booed Akufo-Addo and you come, and they were booing Akufo-Addo, a president. To hell with you, excuse my language. Who do you think you are a role model to? If you are a spokesperson to Akufo-Addo and his inner circle, or maybe the MPP, you are not a spokesperson for any Ghanaian. And you are not any role model for any Ghanaian child. I want you to know that this, I'm directing it direct at you. So the next time you open your garbage mouth to talk about politics, people that voted the guy in place and he turned his back on them and they try to say something and you come to sit and say, why should they boo him? When he hired people, call people in London during John Mahama time to go and demonstrate because John Mahama was coming to London. Did anybody came out to say, why did they do that? Mama don't have blood. He has blood. If they pay you guys, they're not paying any Ghanaian. And if you take in and you chopping, and every time you come in to sit and talk garbage on national platform, keep it to yourself. Because if I were to be you, I'll find somewhere and crawl in. You are not anybody that will be talking in front of people. You are a disgrace. What people don't know, I want to stand here and let people know, to close this video, my fellow countrymen and women, it's with pain when I talk about some of these things. I don't dislike anybody in Ghana. I don't have any issue with Akufo-Addo. I have issues with his politics. Policy that he did, how he lied his way into politics is what I'm concerned about. And what is going on in Ghana today, that broad daylight, they are shooting guns. Broad daylight. That is what shocked me to the core, to find out that these people come. I'm trying to show this video. I don't even know how to go back. Can you do this for me? Can you do this? I want to go back. I want to show this video the last time before I end the 10. For people to see why I'm outraged. This movement is not about anything. It's about the atrocities that are committed in Ghana, whereby everybody is silent. They may be bribing you guys with the money. With money, they are not bribing everybody. Can someone do this for me? Come. Hello? Give it. So I want to get the video. I need a video. I want to show people the video before I end the video. Get it. Give it to you. Let him do the video. So I want to show this video for you guys to see why I'm outraged this morning. It's like people don't understand. You know, if you see what a black person goes through in this world, you want Ghana or you want Africa to be the #1 countries, the #1 continent for every black person. It's with pain. When I talk about some of these things, it's with pain that I talk about this. It's so sad to see any way that you go, you see this discrimination, killings, so many activities against the black race. Whether it's like, if Africa was to be straight, will you see that many African children dying in the Mediterranean seas? If Africa was to be straight, will you see a country president give an order to kill innocent African children because they're trying to migrate into countries? If African leaders were to be the right leaders, why would an African child want to leave Africa? That's with the pain why I talk about some of these things. Go to the Gibraltar Canal area between Spain and Morocco. How many blacks are killed over there? Atrocities that are committed every day against black people. Those that are drowning, they don't know how to swim. They're trying to find a better life and they end up by dying. There are thousands of children of Africa dying on open seas, simply because of failed leaderships of Africa. That's some of these things that make you to want to talk. Other than that, it doesn't concern me. But I feel like those that haven't get anywhere in life cannot get a fair chance to stand out in this world and also contribute. Those are the reasons why some of us talk about some of these things. The misery in this world towards the black race is overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. And we need the leadership of Africa to stand straight. If we cannot be free in any part of the world and walk free or do things free without someone harassing a black person, at least we should have the continent that is Africans should be able to go there and be able to do things freely. No, like when people take laws into their own hands, start shooting people. I wanted to show this video. So let me get the video and give you guys why I'm making this video. Alexis, can you give me the video edit phone?
I don't know what it is.
Give it to your dad to do it for me, please. He's not. Can you do it? Let me finish the video. I'm trying to finish now. I'm begging you. It's so sad. I'm so sorry that I'm talking on the video. So to anyone that like what I'm doing, please help me share these videos. Please, I'm doing it for all of us. I just want to be able to help. I may not have millions. I may not have much to contribute to my country or the continent. But the voice God gave me and the ability to be able to talk, my contribution to the continent is to voice the concerns of plenty, millions that doesn't have the voice to talk. That's why I make these videos. So help me by sharing the videos. It will mean a lot to me. And I appreciate everybody that takes your time to watch my shows. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. It's for all of us.